Have you ever felt your skin crawl in the silence of the early morning, as if each strand of hair were picking up an invisible whisper? Your chest tightens for no apparent reason, the air becomes heavier, and the darkness around you pulses with veiled intentions. Cold statistics indicate that, in the last year alone, thousands have reported sensations of inexplicable presences in their own homes. Signs that locks, alarms, and lights on are not enough to keep those who stalk you away. Today, you will learn about 3 real stories where the fine line between vigilance and persecution is blurred, leaving only the echo of footsteps and the certainty that somewhere someone is watching on the other side of the door. He was watching through the cracked door in the hallway. Marta has always prided herself on her kindness. A well-placed please, a thank you that sounded sincere. On a cold night, she left the latch loose for the delivery man without realizing that she was inviting something much more than a simple package. As the wind howled outside, soft footsteps crept in behind the half-open door, so subtle that they blended into the silence itself. In her room, the echo of a scratch on the polished floorboard sounded like a macabre drumbeat at 3 in the morning. It repeated itself night after night, a rhythmic pulse of dread that advanced up the hallway steps, closing the distance to her bed. Every creak of the closet made Marta's heart leap. She told herself it was the old hinges giving way to time, but her instinct, cold and insistent, begged her to look inside. One night, armed with a flashlight, she walked down the dark hallway. The beam of light swept over every piece of furniture, every old painting, until it revealed her own footprints reflected on the floor. Beside them, damp and suddenly icy marks pointed in the opposite direction, as if someone invisible had come closer to watch her sleep. When morning finally arrived, the sunlight brought an illusion of relief. Marta noticed, however, a dark palm imprinted on the doorframe, fresh enough to throb under her touch, as if it had been left there minutes ago. Horror spread through her veins. It wasn't the wind, nor the creaking of the old house. It was someone who, in absolute silence, had come to spy on her from the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal his full presence. He was watching the baby monitor. Lucas believed that fatigue would be his greatest enemy that night. Sitting on the edge of the bed, he turned on the monitor and rubbed his tired eyelids, thinking that the white noise would be enough to mask any distant rustling. But amid the static bursts, a childish sound echoed. A lullaby played in an octave too low to belong to the baby. The tone sounded like an off-scale note, disjointed, capable of penetrating the skull like a sonorous dagger. He rewound the recordings and froze the image. Beyond the soft glow of the crib, a tall silhouette moved from side to side, motionless in his face. The bars protected the baby, but not its silence. The shadow, with broad shoulders and slow steps, seemed to study the child's every sigh. Lucas felt sweat run down the back of his neck, and for a moment he imagined seeing a crooked smile form on the lips that were not showing. Although the police report had found no evidence, no forensics would erase the image of that spectral hand, pale and thin, dangerously close to the mattress. Unable to go back to sleep, he remained there, breathing heavily. Weeks later, every nocturnal creak of the floorboards seemed to carry the weight of invisible feet. Every electrical buzz sounded like an insistent whisper. The door to his daughter's room, which he always locked, creaked in the middle of the night, and Lucas knew with the coldest certainty that he was not alone. He was watching in the rear-view mirror. Anna was driving under an overcast sky, her eyes tired, but her mind clear. She would not stop on that deserted highway to fill up. A trivially fatal decision that would cost her peace of mind. She missed the exit, and when she got back on the road, she saw headlights shining in the distance, firmly on her back. She stepped on the accelerator, but the distance remained. The invisible car was not getting closer, not running away. It was just following her, obstinately. From the back seat, coming from the rearview mirror, something that could not possibly exist appeared. Anna blinked, and the reflection showed the inert silhouette of a man, crouched, staring at her. There was no door or window between them, only the cold, opaque glass that had now become a direct interface with fear. Her hands trembled, but the steering wheel remained steady. Desperate, she swerved onto a side street, almost total darkness, surrounded by twisted trees. The other vehicle's tires skimmed the asphalt like pulsating veins, converging toward him. It was only when he reached home, the doors finally locked, that he noticed the hallway mirror. Under the dim light, he seemed to see that same silhouette of his father, squinting behind her, with a half-smile that appeared in the shadows and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Her body stiffened, and the cold ran through every vertebra. No matter where she went, someone would find a way to her. 3 distinct stories, 3 doors half open to the unknown. With each story, we realize that terror does not reside in visible monsters, but in the breaking of our sense of privacy and control. It is there, in the details whispered by the night, that the mind surrenders to fear. Do you feel that shiver that runs up your spine when you imagine a hidden gaze in the darkness? Perhaps there is no rational answer that can dispel this feeling. The security we create is fragile like thin glass. An unexpected touch is enough to shatter it. And have you ever had an experience where you felt that you were not alone? Share your story in the comments and help others confront their own fears. Subscribe to our channel to follow our shadow guide in new stories that mix the ancient and the scientific, unraveling why our bodies react so fervently to terror. Until the next whisper in the darkness.